No, it's
Hello! What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Elischa here, and welcome back to another episode of Evergreen. This is episode 7, and whether you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or watching on YouTube, I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in to yet another episode. Wherever you're watching this, I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're feeling loved. And I hope you and your family are staying safe. This week, I'm finally back. I'm back from London. I'm going to tell y'all all about this trip. It was dope. North London Derby was active. At this point, y'all already know the result, but I'm going to take y'all through everything that happened while I was over there. Also, we talking about the Champions League. We're talking about so much in football right now, closing out the Premier League season. So we're going to get into all of that today on the show. Make sure y'all like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this with everybody you know. Share it with your pet snake. Share it with your hamster, your dog, your grandma's cousins, neighbors, stepdaughter. Share it with everybody you know. If you're a football fan, you love footy, this is the football show for footy fans, by footy fans. Let's get straight into it. The first leg of the semifinals of the Champions League. We talking Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid and Dortmund versus PSG. To get into it first, Real versus Bayern at the Allianz Arena ended in 2-2, a 2-2 draw for the first leg, which was very expected, or at least expected for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking at the Allianz Arena, Bayern is coming off a season right now where Bayer Leverkusen won the Bundesliga. So they're not trying to go down this season without winning a trophy. They're not going down without a fight. I don't care how good this Real Madrid team is. If you're Bayern and you've been in this final, you have players on the team like a Müller, like a Neuer, who've won the Champions League, who've been in this position before. You facing this Real team with no fear, right? You have some of the youngsters, you have the speed, you have some of the tenacity in offense and defense. The Alphonso Davies situation is a little sour right now, so he hasn't been playing as much. But you got Sané up front. You got Kimmich doing this thing all throughout the season. So I know that Bayern weren't going into this matchup scared. Real, we already know how they moving. In the Champions League, it's almost a birthright. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to show up every single time. Vinicius going to do his thing. Rodrigo going to do his thing. And defense, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, they're going to do their thing. So we were expecting a dog fight, and that's exactly what we got. First goal, Vinicius. First of all, Vinicius Jr., I don't know what's up with Real Madrid. I don't know if they're being coached somehow by Chris Angels or something. If they have, I spoke about them having some tricks up their white sleeves last time or during the Paramount Plus promo. Y'all, if y'all saw it on my socials, you know they be having these tricks up their sleeves out of nowhere. Bayern were dominating going into the first half, starting the game. About, I don't know, what was it, like 15 minutes in, dominating, putting in that work. Right? That sea of red surrounding them. Their 12th man is in full effect. Out of nowhere, Real, as always, they're quiet for a little bit. They're kind of just pouncing. They're kind of waiting around, right? Trying to evaluate what's the opponent doing, where are they going, what are they trying to do. It's kind of like boxing, right? Real play like they play like they're boxing. They're jabbing. They're moving, footwork a little bit. They're waiting around, seeing what their opponent's going to be, and then they just strike, uppercut, straight up. Bing, 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 bing. Like you never know where it's going to come from. And it feels like that. Like I feel like Vinicius could be just sitting on a couch one day at home, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's watching Breaking Bad. I don't know what they're into. I don't know what Brazilians living in Madrid are into. He could be on a couch just watching TV. And then out of nowhere, Cruz just spots him. Boom. Sends him the ball, sharp, butter knife cut, and somehow he scores and puts it in the back of the net. That's just how Real have been playing lately. They'll constantly catch you by surprise. But when you got a guy like Leroy Sané in your offense, when you're at home, when you're as disciplined and as focused as Bayern Munich are, you're just not going to let that slide. And that's exactly what happened. They equalized. Kane, happy for Kane. Right now, he's top scorer in the Champions League this season, I believe alongside Mbappe. And he got his goal to put Bayern up front, penalty against Jamal Musiala to give Bayern the opportunity to step up and make it 2-1. And that's exactly what Harry Kane did. And that boy is trying everything he can, everything in his British power to get a trophy this season. Is it going to happen? I don't know. I hope so. to be honest. As a Barca fan, y'all know the vibes. As a Barca fan, I hope Kane wins this. I hope that Real get eliminated. I'm putting every bit of money in my account, all $27.22 in my savings, I'm putting against Real Madrid to not reach the final. Please, Bayern, okay? And some of y'all have been saying that I can't be impartial. Someone, who was it, on Instagram, in the Instagram comments, that was saying, bro, can't be impartial when talking about football. I don't have to be. I don't have to be. I don't got to do nothing. I could talk straight about Barca every single day on the show if I want to. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. I'm a football fan first, Barcelona fan second, right? And I don't not like this Real team. Let's just get this record straight. I don't dislike this Real team. I don't care who you are. Barca fan, ceiling fan, Phantom of the Opera. If you're a football fan, you're going to enjoy this Real team play. Vinicius, Rodrigo, Jude Bellingham, all them, right? You got, what's that kid's name from Turkey? Arda Güler, some shit like that. He young kid, he's a baller. You got Khendrick coming into the team. Mbappe, we talk about this every year or every week. So you cannot dislike, you can't hate this Real Madrid team if you're a football fan. They play great football. They're entertaining. And yeah, that's exactly what they showed in this matchup versus Bayern. Now, going into the second leg at the Bernabeu, Bayern got their work cut out for him. You need 8 hours of sleep and 1,000 milligrams of Adderall to play against a Real Madrid team like that at the Bernabeu. Like, you got to come focused. You got to come prepared. Like, they got to be prepared right now. I'm filming this on Sunday night, Eastern time. Since right now, they're probably asleep. They got to be getting ready right now for that matchup that's coming in 2-3 days. Because this Real team, again, when they're in the Champions League, when they're at home, it's a different type of power. It's a different type of vibe. It's a different energy. You have to double up, triple up, quadruple up. What's the word for fifth, triple? I don't know. This is not my first language. I'm not from the U.S. I don't have to know these words. Either way, whatever the next step after quadruple up is, that's what Bayern is going to need to beat Real at home. Do they have it in them? I believe that on any given day, it's not just on paper who's the better team. It's whoever decides to show up that day. Whoever decides that they want to win that day and move on to the next round that day, that's who's going to win the matchup. Can Bayern be that? Absolutely. On paper, they got the team for it, right? They don't have the same amount of momentum. They haven't been having the same successes as Real this season. Real, congratulations. Congratulations, Real Madrid, being La Liga champions. That's enough clapping. That's all you deserve. That's all right. You won it. We move forward. Whatever. That was expected. Fine. Great. Congrats. However, though, this is the Champions League, right? This is the Champions League. They're the all-time leading champions in the competition. So it just seems like every time they step on that stage that they just move different. And yeah, you can't expect anything differently going into the second leg. Now, Bayern, though, I do think that there's a lot riding on this for them. Obviously, Harry Kane is not getting any younger. The Bundesliga title, it's a little worrying that as soon as he comes, after 11 years of winning it, this team won this competition 11 years back to back. This guy comes on the team. He's never won a trophy in his life. As soon as he joins the team, they don't win it anymore. Yeah, it's the Kane curse is real. He has a chance to break it. He has a chance to, and what a trophy it would be for him to break the curse with the Champions League after he's already lost it. 2019, he was in the Champions League final against Liverpool. They lost that 2-0. He was so close. His hair was trimmed very nicely. He looked super proper, you know what I'm saying? As proper as Harry Kane could be. He was ready. He went to the barber that same morning. That boy was looking clean, I'm not gonna lie. Usually you look at a guy like Jude, he got his hairline is sharp, you know what I'm saying? They got the little black spray and everything. I'm looking back at 2019, that boy Harry was looking sharp, casket sharp, I'm not gonna lie. But they did bury him, so he was ready for the occasion. But yeah, man, there's a lot riding on this, not just for Harry Kane, but for Bayern overall. They've been... It's a little bit of trouble right now in terms of the managerial staff. Thomas Tuchel doesn't seem to be doesn't seem to be fitting in well with the president, with the front office. They've made it obvious that they're looking for another manager. They've inquired about. They asked Unai Emery, he rejected him. They asked Ragnick, he rejected him. They're spinning back on old managers to try management. Everybody is rejecting them. Nagelsmann rejected him. At this point right now, it's a little embarrassing for Bayern, right? It's a little embarrassing. They have problems with Tuchel. He might take them to the final. And how do you do this? It's the same thing with PSG. How do you take a team to the final and still get fired afterwards? The final of the Champions League. So if he ends up winning it, then they have to really look at themselves and say, look, we might not like this guy's attitude. We might not like how he operates, how he does things. However, if he's able to take us to the Champions League final and we're able to actually win it all and become European champions in a season like that where it's been so disappointing for them on all aspects, you can't fire him. Like, what do you look like firing a guy like that at this point? It's just all egos. And I understand this is football. It's a game of egos, but there's a lot riding on this, especially for Thomas Tuchel. If he wins it, they're going to have to reconsider whether or not they want to keep him or not. But that's essentially the narrative for Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. If Real don't win it, it's really no biggie. I'm not going, like I said, like this team is great. Their future is bright. Their present is looking good. Their future is looking even better. There's nothing to worry. It's just like they're going to come back next year. They're going to be great again. They're going to have an even bigger chance of winning it if finally Mbappe decides to come to Real. Khendrick is coming in. Yes, he's his first year, whatever. We're not expecting him to do any magic tricks or just miracles. He's not going to walk on water in his first year with Real. But the team is only getting stronger. They're only getting better. So I wouldn't be worried about Real not winning this one if I'm a Real Madrid fan. I'm also trying to cope. This is a coping mechanism. I'm trying to make myself feel better and talk more and more about them not winning it so that it can happen. I believe in manifestation. The law of attraction is real, right? So we're gonna keep speaking that into existence, speaking it into the universe. Now, moving on to PSG versus Dortmund. By the way, prediction: Bayern versus Real. I'll give you a specific number. I'll say a cool 1-0 for Bayern. Extremely unlikely. I'm bugging. Elischa, you can't wishful think these things into existence, right? You got to be, there has to be some sort of realism. So I'll be real with y'all. I'll say I could see a 2-1 Bayern. I could see a 1-1 Real. Real have to catch up. I see Bayern scoring first. Harry Kane, Rodrigo, or Jude finally coming out the shadows and scoring in the knockout stage of the Champions League, equalizing for Real. And then Kimmich, another header, just as he did against Arsenal, to win it for Bayern to move on to the final. Now, their German counterparts, Borussia Dortmund, are playing versus Paris Saint-Germain, right? The French somethings. I was going to call them the French Giants, but I'll call them the French somethings because we don't know where they stand right now. They don't really have a prestigious title. I can't call them the Giants. I can't call them the Kings. They haven't deserved that yet. They've won Ligue 1, and that's all they've done. They've been in the final with Tuchel. Yeah, whatever. The French somethings. That's what we're going to call them right now. If you feel disrespected by that French people, yeah, I'm sorry. Right? Just win. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong and win. Make it to the final at the very least. And then we could talk about what your title is. But PSG versus Borussia Dortmund ended in 1-0. A wonderful goal from Füllkrug. A beautiful goal from Füllkrug. A beautiful ballerina-like first touch, first of all, to bring the ball down, and a phenomenal strike to put the ball in the back of the net against Donnarumma to put Dortmund 1-0 up. And I'll say the biggest thing, and last episode, I did say this, the biggest factor in this matchup is going to be the passing for Dortmund. Their perfect, accurate, butter, smooth, sharp passing always makes the difference. But this matchup specifically, Fulkrug got the goal, but he wasn't the star. If anything, I would give him a 6 out of 10, even though he's the only one that scored in this match because of all the other missing chances that he had during the game. Like, especially with a guy like Jadon Sancho, the superstar of this game. Yes, Jadon Malik Sancho. You try to play with him. He left Dortmund. He didn't go to City. That's his boyhood club. He didn't go to City. He came to Manchester United. And look at the way y'all treated him. Y'all treated him like an outcast. Y'all treated him. I need a hip-hop reference. I need a pop culture reference. Wait, it's coming to me. It's coming to me. It's coming to me. Wait. Damn, I was going to use, you know what I was going to use? I was going to use the Drake versus, no, that's not a good comparison. That's not a good comparison. Who's somebody that was outcasted by everybody and then who ended up proving everyone wrong? Who? Huh? Kanye. I'll say Kanye, right? Yeah. Kanye. He was too soft at first. Aha! Shout out to Jordan. See, Jordan, I'm trying to show you, right? Yes, Kanye. He was soft at first, right? Everybody's saying, right, he's just a producer. He's not a rapper. You're not no rapper. Yeah, you from Chicago, but you're not a rapper. You're a producer. You make beats. That's all you got to do, right? He comes in, he's making his beats. He's going into the what was it? Was it the Rock Nation offices that he was going into trying to play his song to everybody? Nobody was listening, right? Everyone's kind of putting him to the side. But then he stayed in his happy place. He put himself in a position to win, and he kept pushing out those records. And now he's Kanye West. Same thing with Jadon Sancho, right? He wasn't accepted as United. Y'all kept saying that the problem is not Ten Hag, that it's not the club, it's not the team, it's not the environment. That no, it's Sancho. He has an attitude problem. That Kanye reference, I'm telling you, he has an attitude problem. But no, as soon as he goes, I told y'all a few episodes ago, he goes back to Dortmund. That boy got the biggest smile on his face I've ever seen in my life. You would have thought he just got some fresh veneers. But no, he was happy to leave because he's leaving a toxic environment and he's going back to somewhere where it feels like home. In Germany, a young black British kid going back to Germany and feels more at home than in Manchester, in the country where he's from. What does that say? No, it's not just that he doesn't have the skills or he doesn't have the talent anymore. We saw what he was doing. We saw what got him the England call-ups, what got him to Manchester United. It was all the damage he was doing at Dortmund. Yes, granted, he goes back to Dortmund. He's not necessarily shining every single match, but his energy is different. His outlook is different. His body language is different. How he operates with this team was completely different. And now, right, that the fruits of his labor, he's reaping that, right? He's reaping what he's sown, and he's showed that in the last match versus PSG, right? That boy was everywhere on the pitch. He's a bullet on the wings. He's playing defense. He's recovering balls. He's dishing out crosses. Again, Fulkrug could have scored a sitter. Jadon Sancho was everywhere on the pitch. He was the best player during that match. That's why he got man of the match. Right? And he's showing everybody. He's showing all his doubters again, as I said before. And I'm not even going to repeat it again. I'm just going to play from the previous episode, the footage where I said, Jadon Malik Sancho, he is the personification. He is the perfect example of it's not always the player. Sometimes it's the team. Sometimes it's the manager. Exactly. Sometimes it's not the player. Sometimes it's the team. Sometimes it's the environment. We're being shown that right now. So everybody who's doubted him, everybody who's criticizing him, you're wrong. Again, Ten Hag spinning back, saying, oh, he's happy for Jadon. And then, we'll see what happens at the end of the season and if he's going to come back at United. Nah, he shouldn't come back to United. He should either stay at Dortmund or go on another team because y'all didn't appreciate him when he was there. Y'all didn't make him feel comfortable enough to be playing the way he's playing right now for Dortmund at Manchester. If you don't create the right environment for your stars to shine, they're not going to shine, right? And you're going to have a dim, dark team. Create the right environment for him, and you're going to see how bright he could be. But, so yeah, y'all owe Jadon Sancho an apology because he's proving to everybody. It's not me. I could ball. I can play football. It's not me. It's just, I don't know what y'all got going on in Manchester. There's a reason why Ronaldo wasn't happy, right? There's a reason why. Also, I think Marcus Rashford, phenomenal player. It's a reason why he hasn't elevated, right? Rashford hasn't been evolving fully at Manchester United. His level of play, the caliber of player that he is, the problems with even guys like Jesse Lingard, and we know there were things off the pitch, but again, Manchester United does not seem like the type of club that embraces their players when they're going through off the pitch problems, when they're going through issues with their confidence. Like they're not transforming anything. They're not accommodating anything. And Ten Hag, as a manager, doesn't seem like he cared much about that. But we know the culture in football. We know football fans will never admit this, but the culture, the code is no player, no one period is bigger than the club. And that's cool. That's fine. I understand that. No football fan is going to admit whenever they're wrong about that because you got to stick to the code, right? That's law. No one is bigger than the club. However, you got to be real with yourself and realize when you were wrong. Like in this instance, it wasn't the player. Same thing. Paul Pogba at United, another player, right? And y'all could, as much as y'all want, y'all could say, oh, well, look what happened with him with the anti-doping or whatever. That there's so many more layers to that story. But you have Pogba at United. You have a guy like Aubameyang at Arsenal. You have a player like even back in the days, Nicolas Anelka, right, at Real Madrid, at Chelsea. Sometimes it's not that these guys can't play. It's not that they don't want to play. It's not that they don't want to put in the work. It's the environment just don't always allow them to do that, to grow. But Sancho, happy for him. He's back on his feet. He put Nuno in his back pocket. Nuno Mendes, however y'all want to pronounce his name, he put that boy in his back pocket with his wallet, his coins, and his gum. Every loose change. Nuno was in Sancho's back pocket like loose change. Okay, I got my wallet, my money. Wait, where's my keys? What?
Oh my God, here he go again, bro. All right, bro. All right, okay.
What you doing in my pocket?
I don't know, bro. I don't know how I got in there. How did I get in there? Huh? How?
Hey, you better get up out of there before I start making you pay rent.
All right, then just take me out because I'm getting claustrophobic anyways.
You know how crazy the work gotta be for you to be in somebody's pocket with loose change during the first leg of the semifinals of a Champions League? I rest my case. Apologize to Jadon Sancho if you ever doubted him, and let's move forward. Because now, in the final of the Champions League, we might have an all-German final. It might be Borussia Dortmund versus Bayern München, right? Because PSG, Mbappe was very absent during this first leg. They missed a lot of chances too. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if PSG actually wanted to score during that match. Like I don't think they wanted to score. In the first half, they recorded no shots on target. In the second half, Mbappe got maybe 2 chances. One of them hit the crossbar. That was a sequence that got a little scary for Dortmund. But other than that, Fulgrove missed that sitter after the great one from Sancho. And teams will make you pay for that, especially in the final. If you're a team like PSG who's missing all these chances or who are not shooting the ball particularly well, you get to a final against Bayern or Real Madrid, what are you going to do, bro? Like, they're going to make you pay for it every single time. You have to be clinical. So I don't think PSG wanted to score. They were a little timid, but it's okay. It's just like you're going to be shy about it. You're not ready for the final. One thing I did want to touch on before we even leave the Jadon Sancho conversation. For all football fans out there, this is an evergreen question, one of the evergreen question of the weeks. What actually makes a good performance in football? Is it the amount of goals, right? Is it the goals? Is it the assist? And if you say goals, is it the type of goals or is it the amount of goals? Is it that if I have a good game, maybe if I score 1 goal, but it's a bicycle kick or it's a 30-yard screamer top bins, does that make it a good performance if I do nothing else for the rest of the match? Or is it that I score a hat trick and they could be tap ins or a hat trick of penalties? Does that mean I had a good performance? And if you say it's not the goal, then what is it? Is it slow buildups? Is it fast, direct back and forth? Is it long balls? Is it short passes? Is it the tiki-taka? Like, what makes a good performance in football? What makes a good football match? I know the answer varies from fan to fan. I know if I asked 1 million football fans, everybody will give me a different answer, but I want to know, with that criteria, what makes a good performance in football? But with that being said, PSG versus Borussia Dortmund, like I said, it could be an all-German final. Very unlikely. If it does happen, it's just at this point, I really don't care who wins, as long as Real not in the final. But again, I'm not gonna hate on them if they get to that point. One reason though why I'm especially rooting for Dortmund to beat PSG, of course, PSG eliminated Barca. Y'all already know that, so I can't rock with that. But especially because a Borussia, and I don't use the word legend lightly, Borussia Dortmund legend Marco Reus is retiring after 12 years with the club. He came over to Dortmund 12 years ago from Mönchengladbach. From there on, over 400 matches for Dortmund, 168 goals, 128 assists for the club. And after, honestly, so much trouble with injuries. Like he's one of those players where through all the years where Matt Hummels went to Bayern, where Götze went to Bayern, Lewandowski went to Bayern, everybody's leaving, going to other teams in Europe and switching over to Bayern Munich to win that league. Again, all the years where he's been at Dortmund, they've been winning the league. And to see that over that decade, like, he stayed loyal to that club and they've stayed just as loyal to him. You could tell the fans love and appreciate his loyalty. You could tell they appreciate his leadership over the years. And the fact that it's now all coming to an end, and he's won a few trophies for Bayern, but it definitely wasn't the career that I don't think anybody expected his career to be as underwhelming as it was, because he was a generational talent for them. And so there's a lot more expectation that I know that Dortmund fans or just the football world overall had for him, because it wasn't just Dortmund. Like, he's one of those players where you can't hate him. Like, everyone wants to see Marco Reus succeed. And with all the injuries that he's had, that's make him miss out on so many big moments outside of just Dortmund. Like, he missed out due to injuries. He missed out on the 2014 World Cup with Germany. He could have been a world champion, missed out on that. He played in a 2018 World Cup where they lost in the group stage. They got knocked out in the group stage. And then he played in the 2022 World Cup he missed out on the 2022 World Cup. So there's been so much turmoil in his career. It would just be a fairy tale ending if Reus could win this Champions League, man. If Dortmund can pull through and qualify for the Champions League final and end up becoming champions, can you imagine after all these years? Like, that would be the perfect fairy tale ending. The guy that stayed loyal to one team for so long, when he was given the option of leaving, when he was given the chance of doing like everybody else and going to the bigger team, the seemingly bigger team in Germany, in Bayern, he stayed. So for him to announce that mutually him and the club have agreed to part ways, for him to announce that now and go on to win it, I can't see anything better than that happening, man. So we definitely, over here, we rooting for Reus and Dortmund to win the Champions League. Moving on from the Champions League into the Premier League title race, and it's coming down to the wire. Right now, Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal have 83 points, and they have Manchester United and Everton left for their final two matches. They got United away and Everton at home at the Emirates for the final two matches of the Premier League season. And man, it's one of those positions that's kind of annoying for them, because they're facing two teams that only can spoil the party for them. Like, United and Everton have nothing else to gain from those two matches. United are trying to stay in top 10, not even top 5 or top 4 to make it to the Champions League.
They ain't got nothing riding on the rest of the season. Everton are just happy not to be getting relegated. They just happy to be here. Like we still gonna be in the Premier League next season. Like they're just happy to be there. So at this point, they're just trying to spoil the party for Arsenal. But that's enough motivation because it's Arsenal. It's Arsenal, right? Like they're competing right now with Manchester City to win the title, but Arsenal aren't a dislikable club. People love Bukayo Saka as a player, as a character. They love Bukayo. They love Odegaard. Like Martinelli, some of these guys, like they're likable players. It's not a problem with Arsenal. It's not that Premier League fans love Man City so much. It's Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans are the issue. Arsenal fans are they're like Nigeria. Perfect comparison. Arsenal winning the Premier League would be the equivalent to Nigeria winning AFCON. You're not going to hear the end of it. If Nigeria had won the Africa Cup of Nations for the next 2 years until the next AFCON, you wouldn't have heard the end of it. They would be the continent would have hell. Senegal, Gambia, Ghana, Morocco, Egypt, whoever, you could not speak to them. And they told us that. Don't let us win AFCON because y'all not going to hear the end of it. And that's the same thing for Arsenal. For the next year, if Arsenal win the Premier League, just every other fan, lock yourselves inside. Tottenham, don't speak. Don't cheer at the stadiums. Don't show up to the matches. Just let the players play. And if they could win the league, then you could speak again. But until next year, until another team wins the Premier League again, if Arsenal win this season, they will be insufferable. And that's exactly why people are rooting against them. This is where the motivations for United and Everton are going to come from, just to shut Arsenal fans up. And I love some of y'all. I love y'all as football fans, and I love your passion. I love your delusion. I love it because I get delusional too. I get it, right? Again, it's a coping mechanism. I fully understand it. However, the reason why a lot of these teams want to see Arsenal's downfall is not because they don't like the team. It's strictly because the fans, y'all be chatting way too much. Like people just don't want to see y'all happy. So take a good look in the mirror when y'all do y'all face care routine in the morning, right? Take a good look at yourself and ask yourself, why does everybody not want us to win? On the other side of that, Manchester City are also competing for the Premier League title. They have Fulham and Tottenham. They have 3 matches left, actually, in the season. Right now, they have a game at hand. So they have 3 matches. They're at 82 points right now. They have Fulham and Tottenham away and West Ham at home at the Etihad. Same thing with them. Like the teams that they're facing don't really have any stakes in the game. They don't got any skin in the game. Like Tottenham are out of the top 4. They're out of the top 4 race right now. Aston Villa is going to take that 4th spot. West Ham and Fulham, they're not in nothing. They're just mid-table teams at this point, and they're not fighting for any. It's just for bragging rights at this point to say that we spoiled the party. But yeah, at this point, it could be anyone's, whoever doesn't slip up. If both teams end up winning all of their matches, City winning their remaining 3, Arsenal winning their remaining 2, City will be the champions. If they slip up and Arsenal win their 2, Arsenal will be crowned champions. Let me know in the comments, who do you think is going to be Premier League champions this year? Who do you think is going to win it and be this year's Kings of England? It's very unlikely that City are going to let this one slip. If there's a team that could possibly do it, I would say the surprise would come from either West Ham or Fulham. The way that Tottenham have been playing lately, their last match, they lost 4-2 to Liverpool. The game before that, which I was at, which we're going to talk about right now. I'm going to show y'all the vlog. I'm going to play it. It was dope. It was dope. Versus Arsenal at home at the Tottenham Stadium in North London, 3-2. They went down 3-0. The first goal was an own goal, and then they tried to come back up, but it just wasn't enough to share the point. So they lost that. But yeah, that Tottenham team, I don't think is going to really do any damage against Man City. Speaking of Tottenham Hotspur, speaking of the North London Derby, your boy flew however many miles. How many miles are there between between London and New York. London to New York is 3,461 miles. Oh, god damn. That puts it into perspective. As somebody that got a fear of heights, that terrifies me now. I don't know how I did it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Shout out to JetBlue though. Easy 7-hour flight over to London, man. And from that point on, well, see for yourself.
All right, y'all. So we fitted, we suited and booted. This is the fit today. This is how we pulling up. You know what I'm saying? You got to do a slow pan so you could show the people. Show the people. You know what I'm saying? Just do, I got you. Yeah, do a slow pan. You know what I'm saying? Okay, it's a very slow pan. But
hey, big,
anyways, but you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna get everything, bro.
This is the fit. This is how we pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All that. But anyways, man, North London Derby is my first North London Derby ever. Tottenham Stadium. It's gonna be crazy. I've heard good things about this stadium. I want to be present in the moment. I want to really enjoy the match. Hopefully, it's a good game. I'm hoping for like a 4-3 or something like that. 4-3 Tottenham. And I'm going to Tottenham Stadium, so I couldn't pull up in Arsenal clothes. You know what I'm saying? So I had to come through with the Tottenham colors, Tottenham inspired fit. You feel me? Come on. We gonna meet Dylan. Y'all remember Dylan?
Go for first.
Yeah. This is the greatest thing Spurs has ever produced. Ever. Let's go. What is that? Come on.
Dylan's gonna be coming. Pause. Hold on.
Pause, bro.
Sorry. Pause. Sorry. My fault. I'm bugging. Enough talking. Just let's go to the match.
Man, look at this nigga.
Predictions for the match, bro. Be honest. Be completely honest. What do you think? What are you thinking? 4-2 Arsenal. 4-2 You out of your mind. It's gonna be my predictions, because he's bugging out, talking about 4-2 Arsenal. It's gonna be 2-1 Tottenham. 2-1 Tottenham. Arsenal gonna fumble this.
Chill out, man.
But that's what y'all do. That's what Arsenal does. Professional bottlers.
My guy.
What's happening? What's going on? How are you? What's up,
My brother. Yo. What up, Dylan?
What's up, man?
From New York to London, bro. From New York to, I told y'all, did I not say? I said in the video. Did I say it in the video? I don't know if I said it, but I told y'all I'm going to tap in with y'all one day. I don't care if it's in OKC or in London.
Yeah.
I said it. I will tap in. Now we here. We here.
Game predictions. I said 2-1 Tottenham. Sun brace, soccer. I think that's calm.
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
I'm going to say 2-2.
2-2?
Yeah, only because I'm skeptical as a Spurs fan.
It's realistic.
I'm skeptical.
What are you skeptical about?
You know, Arsenal play quite well. Spurs missing a doggy, you know. Big key player. It's going to be tight.
Who's fighting? Who's fighting?
About to be the moment of truth. Come on.
What's up? It's 1-0. 1-0 Arsenal. And honestly, they haven't been the better team so far.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's only right. At least the food's not too bad. It's better than the game, I'm not gonna lie.
This is football. You never know. 2-4. Possible penalty. Come on, 3-2. Penalty. Yeah. It's a penalty. Yeah. 3-2. This is football. One more. Scoreboard. Game over. 3-2 Arsenal. Good effort by Spurs, man. You almost predicted it correctly. You said 4-2. It was 3-2. You asshole. I'm ready.
But yeah, that was a North London derby. An amazing, amazing experience. Tottenham fans, despite the struggles that this team has had over the years, the fans were incredible. Incredible. The atmosphere was out of this world, man. My first ever full Premier League match. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Shout out to my boy Jay that helped me shoot content all over, from fashion content to skits. Shout out Esmeralda, who we met out there, who filmed some skit with her. Shout out to my boy Dylan, who, again, we met over here in New York on a limb, randomly shooting with Lupe at Pier 5. With them OKC boys, we're on vacation. We met them. We played with them, shot some free kicks. I ended up staying connected with Dylan and went to London, and we went to the Tottenham match together, which was super, super dope. So I got some of the exclusives. He got me a scarf and everything. Like, it was 10 out of 10 experience. I'll say 9 out of 10 just because I wish Tottenham would have won. Other than that, though, your boy got some fish and chips and stuff for the first time. I ain't want to be that touristy, but it's just like there wasn't that many options. They had some crazy looking glizzies at the Tottenham Stadium. I wasn't rocking with it. I'm sorry. Like, I would have had to explain that back home when I got back, and I wasn't rocking with it. So for the first time ever, we got a Haitian in a Champions League final. Yes, sir. Man, and it's coming from an unlikely source. I'll say unlikely because usually when we talk about Champions League final, you would expect it obviously to be the men's Champions League, but no, in the women's Champions League final, Lyon versus Barcelona in a women's Champions League final. Lyon made it, beating PSG, and none other than, yes, the product of the wonderful island of Haiti, Elischa Dumornay scored the winning goal in a 2-1 victory for Lyon against PSG in the women's semifinals of the Champions League to bring into the final one step closer to being champions of Europe. Elischa Dumornay, round of applause, digital round of applause for Elischa Dumornay. And this is what, and I've been meaning to speak about this in previous episodes, but this girl is from Mirbalais. She's not from Port-au-Prince. She is not from the capital. She's from Mirbalais, and she's only 20 years old. 5 goals in 11 matches in the league this season for Lyon. Absolutely balling out. 2 goals in the Champions League in 4 matches. She's just coming off an injury, coming straight back and winning matches for Lyon. Like, the magnitude of what this means, especially with everything that's been going on in Haiti right now, with the canal finally being built, like every little gleam of hope And every light that Haiti can get, we could use right now. And Merci du Mornay is an absolute star, shining bright right now in the darkest of times for this country. Right now, she's a light. She's a light, and she deserves, I don't care if it's from Haitians in Haiti, in the diaspora, she deserves every bit of support from everyone, especially since, and not just Merci, the whole women's national team. I mean, they just qualified for the Women's World Cup for the first time in history, right? Went over there to Australia and made us all extremely proud. We got a brick wall at goal in Kelly. We got not even just in the senior women's national team. We got young girls coming up in the U17 like Lugina Haitian coming up, balling out, right? Constantly climbing up the ranks and elevating the game of women's soccer, women's football in Haiti. And I could not be more proud. And that's the perfect representation of what happens when you support women's sports. Right? When you give these ladies a chance, when you give them a platform, when you give them resources, when you give them an opportunity to show what they can do, right? Where their talent and their hard work could take them. When you leur encadrer ou montrer que nous aimons nous connaissons nous ouais que nous voulons jouer football, nous comptons jouer football, n'a pas cadrer nous, n'a pousser nous pour nous continuer élever. This is exactly what happens when you believe in these young ladies, man. And one way that specifically, if you're looking for ways to help elevate young Haitian women in football in more ways than one, definitely tap in with Goals Haiti. This organization that I've had the pleasure of working with, Goals Haiti, they don't just focus on soccer, right? Soccer is a means for them to gather kids, to put them in an environment, to have fun, to get active, to participate in sports. But also it's a means to giving them access to better education, giving them access to opportunities for community service, to plant, to learn about the environment, to just enrich their minds and elevate their intelligence in more ways than one through the main access point being soccer, giving them that chance, right, to have fun, to engage with other kids, to get some free meals, and just, to escape the everyday life and the troubles of the country. And, Goals Haiti are doing a phenomenal job. They've been doing so for years in giving these kids the opportunity through soccer, through education, through community service, to be able to engage and grow physically, mentally, and intellectually. And yeah, if you're looking for a way, goalshaiti.org, definitely tap into their Instagram, through all their socials. They're doing amazing work. It just goes to show when you support Haiti, when you support young Haitian kids, especially young Haitian women, you get Merci du Mornay. And there's so much more where that came from. There's so much more that we can see this turn into in the future. Continue to support them. They're doing great things, and I can't wait to see what they do more in the future. Khendrick versus Drake beef that's been going on right now, and honestly, listen, I'm full. Y'all know how on stream Drake was talking about he's sick to his stomachs. I'm full to my stomachs, fam. I'm full, Crody. Like, I don't need no more. I don't need no more. Like, I'm good. From Meet the Grams to push-ups to what's the other ones called? To God damn, there's so many of them. I can't even remember the damn names. To Euphoria, all of them. Like, it's a lot. The other night, I'm thinking I'm going to sleep, right? It's a good night. I'm chilling, right? It's been a long day. Boom. Drake drops. What's it called? What was the damn? There's so many damn songs. I can't even remember them. God damn, it's like that? Ugh. You not rocking with the boy. You not rocking with the boy. What was it?
Family Matters.
It was Family Matters. Okay, so he dropped Family Matters. I blinked, right? Oh shit. Drake dropped another one. Right? So I'm over here, like I'm in the car. I just came from my boy's crib. I'm like, I'm about to blast this in the car, in the speakers. You know what I'm saying? We got the new Accord speakers, you heard? Y'all know. If you know, you know. I'm blasting it. I'm not even done with the song yet. I get a text. Khendrick dropped. Oh my God, what's happening? I damn near crashed the car. Like, what's going on? Then I finished the song though. I had to give him his respect. I finished Family Matters first. And I'm like, oh snap. He went crazy. This was the Drake that everybody was asking for. Like this was the Drake that we don't want no number one singles from the disses anymore. We don't want back to back. We're not trying to chart the billboards. We need aggressive, right? Y'all see how Chris Brown came after Quavo? That's the type of diss tracks we like to see. Hit 'em up vibes. If you're gonna reference Tupac, we need that type of vibe on the diss. That's exactly what he did with Family Matters. But then Khendrick, right after that, Meet the Grams. Oh my God. Oh my God. He got a daughter. This is Pusha T part 2. You not pushing P? Push T. Right? Push me. What's going on? That boy standing on business. I love, this is hip hop. I love every single, I don't know if this is gonna be the revival of hip hop. I'm not gonna lie, the rap game's been a little sick lately. I don't know. It's had the flu. Since COVID, things just haven't been the same. But I love it. For the culture, for the history of this sport, because hip hop is a sport, I love every single second of it. And then that boy comes out with, 616 was before that. And then he comes out with Meet the Grams, Euphoria, 616, Meet the Grams. And then the last one was Not Like Us. And it's a bop. It's a bop too. That's what they said. They said Khendrick couldn't make an entertaining diss track. And he comes out and he gives us a bop. Full West Coast vibe. DJ Mustard produced. I love it. I love it, but I'm done. Please, I need a rest. I need a break. I need a break. And you know what? In football terms, if y'all not following this beef, this reminds me of 2011 Champions League. Jose Mourinho, so we had El Clasico and the Copa del Rey in 2011. I know we about to get out of here. We got a 2011 Copa del Rey, El Clasico, Mourinho versus Pep Guardiola, Real Madrid versus Barcelona. Real won that 1-0, right? They got it. They got that. Afterwards, in press conferences, Mourinho comes for Pep, right? He doesn't address him as Mr. Guardiola. He addresses him by first name as Pep. Obviously, they know each other, but in the sense now, they're both managers of two of the biggest clubs in the world. There's a certain decorum. He addresses him as his first name, and he essentially says that there's 3 types of managers. There's the managers who, when there's a mistake, they complain, right? There's a mistake against them by the referees, they complain. There's the managers where when there's a mistake, they don't complain, they just let it rock. And there's the managers, the third category in which Pep Guardiola stands alone, which is the managers who still get the right call from the referee and still complain about the calls. Now, at that point, you asking for fire because you're about to meet them in the Champions League semifinal. You talking crazy. So Pep Guardiola, uncharacteristically, like he's never done before, stands on business, hot fight, on smoke, on site, sits down in a press conference and lays it all out and rips into Jose Mourinho. And this feels like that Drake and Khendrick beef because it just went bang, 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 bang. They meet each other in the Copa del Rey final. They meet each other in the Copa del Rey final. Real wins that one. Mourinho comes up at the press conference, right? Throws shots at Pep. Pep goes right back to him in his press conference. Goes back to the locker room. I don't know if y'all seen the Barca documentary. The players are clapping. He's like, man, I don't even need y'all to clap, right? I'm on hots right now. We got a semifinal coming up, El Clasico. We need to win this. They go in. They win the first leg. They draw the second leg. Barca wins the matchup, goes into the Champions League final, and Manchester United is J. Cole. Because they really ain't want no smoke. They wanted no parts of this. Manchester United was J. Cole. It's just like, damn, this is a Spanish fight. I ain't really want none of this, right? And they end up being collateral damage because they got beat in the final, and Barca ended up being Champions League winners, champions of Europe, because Mourinho wanted to open his big mouth and just motivated them. So Barca in 2011 was Khendrick, and Real Madrid was Drake. There's a lot more where that came from. If you know, you know. But that's exactly what that reminded me of. But yeah, again, I love it when I love the football to hip hop and pop culture references. I love all of it, man. When any subculture goes and mixes with football, it just makes my Haitian heart so happy. But to end this, as always, y'all already know, every single week, I got to give y'all a quote of the week. And this time it's coming from one of my favorite people. Have never had the chance to meet him. I hope I get to magnetize that. I hope I get to manifest running into this legend right here, this juggernaut, this legend for me, the greatest actor of all time, the one and only Denzel Washington says, don't confuse movement with progress because you can run in place and go nowhere. I don't know if y'all really heard me. Don't confuse movement with progress. You could be in place, right? You could be moving a whole lot. I ain't go nowhere, right? I went nowhere just now. I looked like I was running, but I didn't go nowhere. You could be moving. You could be doing a lot and nothing at the same time. So don't confuse the two, right? You want to make sure that if you're working hard, if you're working smart, if you're putting in the energy, the hours, you want to also do calculated work. You don't want it to just be hard labor and not actually advancing or going anywhere. You want to put yourself in the best position to be learning and to be elevating. Sometimes that means taking a few steps backwards. However, minor setbacks for major comebacks. As always, you want to make sure that you're moving in an upward trajectory, right? And sometimes that graph looks jagged. It's never a linear ascension. Sometimes it's going up and down, but as long as you're moving and actually progressing and going somewhere, that's what matters. So that's whether that's educating yourself, whether that's sometimes having to face those demons, look at them right in the mirror and say, hey, it's not the outside, it's not the outside world. It's not my mom, my dad, my friend, my girlfriend, whoever. It's actually me. And this is what I need to work on. This is what I need to be better at. And actually applying it. Right? It's not just talking about it. It's not just going on your Instagram story and saying that I'm healing. I'm you know what I'm saying? Those people who are like, yo, who are going to tell you 5 times a week that they're moving in silence. It's just like, yo, we hear you loud and clear at this point. It's just like the point of moving in silence is you not telling us you're moving in silence. Just do it. Just put in the work, right? This life is short. Big shout out. I got to say this, even though it has nothing to do with football. Big shout out to, or my condolences, I'll say respectfully, my condolences go out to Francis Ngannou and his family. Unfortunately, he lost his 18-month-old son this past week. Big tragedy. Don't need to stay too long on it. I know it's a very sore spot. I can only imagine what that pain is like. I don't want to, but definitely praying for him. If you have a moment, if whatever you believe in and you could put in some good energy or some prayers out for Francis Ngannou and his family. I know that they'll appreciate that. But much love to the whole Ngannou family and Francis in particular, mourning the loss. This such a tragic loss. But yeah, man, again, life is short. Life is short. Spend every day, wake up every day, trying to be better, trying to progress, trying to move, make that movement. But, step by step, go somewhere. It's not a race. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Nip told y'all. It's a marathon. Keep running that marathon slowly but surely, one foot in front of the other. And yeah, man, that's the life that we live. Make the most of it. It's a gift, this opportunity. Don't take it for granted. Keep elevating. Keep loving yourself. Keep working on yourself. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining me on this episode of Evergreen. If you enjoyed this, make sure y'all like, make sure you subscribe. Again, make sure you share this with your pet raccoon's cousin's lawyer who just came from jail but still got his law degree and was able to practice law. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Footy fans all across the world, I love y'all. I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.